and you just pick your food and you just go home and you cook it. But what happens is we've gotten so used to someone else handling our, food, we just go and just buy the food and eat. We're in a microwave society. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we have to unlearn these things, and it's like, all right, well, there's a part of it where it's like you gotta feed the people, make it taste good, right? But then while they're eating, like, yo, look, that shit is packed with iron. It's packed with phosphorus. You know what that could do for you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you know what? I'm dealing with this issue or whoop-de-whoop. And
welcome to the Black Businessman Podcast. My main man, Jhavaun, part of the team right here. You already know, so I had to get him out from behind the camera, come do the work. You know what I'm saying? So we all out here family.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thank you for having me, man.
Nah, thank you, because you started this dream, you pushed me through it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, just pushing me and just like, let's get this thing out here. You know, see the early episodes. You know, we're gonna have clips and everything for people to just see, like, yo, what we were doing together, just rocking, you know. So I really appreciate that.
It's a transition, bro. It's a transition, you know what I'm saying?
But it's just next steps.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? Like next steps. So that's all it is. So we just trying to be better every week. Right. Just get better and make it happen.
There we go. All right, let's go. Let's get it.
All right. So we here with the man, the myth, the legend, right here, running Lithonia.
This guy.
Man, listen. It's the man right here. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to me, because you know what I'm saying?
You know the man.
Right? You know what I'm saying? But everybody know you here. You know, you make sure that you give a warm embrace on the block and everything. So for the people who don't know, tell us a little about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Jhavaun Green. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Downtown Development Authority for the City of Lithonia.
Lithonia, Georgia.
Yeah, Lithonia, Georgia. Yeah. We in not Atlanta. The same Atlanta. Lithonia is not Atlanta, but yeah, we about 20 minutes out from Atlanta. And pretty much, we've been in the community for about 9 to 10 years. Started out with a nonprofit called the Revitalizing School for Leadership and Enterprise, where we did pretty much after-school programming, summer camps and things like that with the youths. Opportunity came to open up a restaurant, and my wife and my mother started the restaurant, and I supported it from a business standpoint, right? And then just seeing that there was a bigger need outside of business for the community, so I started doing a lot of volunteer work, service work, and things of that nature. So yeah, that's long and short. So Green Love Kitchen is downstairs. We have next level spaces upstairs, amongst other things.
Yeah. Which we get to rent out and see, you know what I'm saying? So it's all business. We all rock with each other, right?
There you go.
So you came here. What made you even come to Lithonia, though? Right? How did you find? Because especially Lithonia, the city.
Yeah, that's a fact, right? So this is what they call a pass-through town, right? About 1 square mile, right? And first time I came to the city, it was crazy because I live in unincorporated Lithonia, but I worked in Stockbridge at the bank. And that's what actually brought me to Georgia, working for the bank. And I was just going from Stockbridge to my house and unincorporated Lithonia, and I passed, through the city on the outskirts, and the City of Lithonia police stopped me. So I was doing like 35 and 25 or something, right? So I had to come and pay my ticket, right? So
you know when they started.
Yeah, full circle, right? So it's like I came down and I saw like the courts they was running, man. It was like a pirate court, bro. It was like a kangaroo court. It was just taking Negroes' money in this little room like this. It was a bootleg job, like it was wild, crazy. But small town, I'm like, what's going on, right? And I see botanical gardens. I saw like gamers experience. I saw like several businesses, but they looked like nothing was going on. The mayor at the time, Deborah Jackson, went to an old church, the church I used to frequent, First African Church. Shout out to First African Church. And she heard about the proposal that me and my partner, Muhammad, was doing about the Harriet Tubman School. And she said, hey, we got a building for you. That just became vacant. Come to find out it was the same building and I had to pay the ticket. The old City Hall building. Yeah, so we wound up getting the keys to that building, made a proposal to the city, and that was it. That was like the beginning of, building in the city, and seeing the needs of the city and things of that nature.
Or man, so full circle. So it's more than just a city. So your love for the city has grown. How did Green Love start? And I know you said your mom and your mom and your wife came through, but what made you even think about like, what we going to put it right here?
Yeah. So once again, my wife, super awesome chef, right?
Yeah.
But what took place is that we wound up going on a journey of like healing. And we learned about Dr. Sebi through one of his children, KT, the art degree, and Mama Pill, which was Dr. Sebi's one of his. She worked for him in the 80s when he was healing brothers and sisters from AIDS and things of that nature, right? And it wasn't cool to be a vegan or raw and all that stuff at the time, but they exposed us to like why we should eat the way we should eat, right? So we switched up our diet, and my wife started cooking in the kitchen. My mom's already, like, they knew how to cook, just being from a Caribbean background. Like, we always cook big meals. We never starve, right? Like, there's one thing, you don't starve. You're gonna eat, you know what I mean? So, my mom moved from New York, she retired, and we said, hey, you're gonna live with us.
Shout out to mom, right? Yeah. The food is delicious.
Yeah, you did. He was at the crib. That's a fact. That's a fact.
When my mom stamped it, it was official.
And she don't play this. She had a restaurant too.
Yeah, so she don't feel this. Mom don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She gonna take you on the back end like it's all right. That's how she gonna do it. It's okay. When she get that stamp, she put a.
It's official.
It's official.
You took some home too? You took some food home?
Yeah.
Okay, say no more.
Take some food.
So my mom just came back up to visit for the holidays. But yeah, she was living with me, moved down. We started catering, vending, and we saw that most of our customers at the time was like white, affluent customers. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't really our demographic that we wanted to target, right? So we did a survey, and we hired a nonprofit company. It was like a mother-daughter team, and we found out about food insecurity zones, or what they call food deserts. And in the study, you find like a lot of people know part of the study, which is like food insecurity zone. There's no access to fresh fruits and vegetables, and the short,
the food swamp.
Food swamp, deserts, oasis.
The reason why I'm saying food swamp because I always want people to understand there's a lot of chips and cookies and
right there.
So it's like needing water and being in the swamp. There's a whole bunch of water, but it'll kill you.
So it's no good for you.
It's no good for you. Be like, there's food here. So food desert, there's no food, right? But the food swamp.
Well, healthy food. Healthy, but I understand the play on it. Nah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Somebody say that like that.
No, but the flip side, that's what it is. It's like if you have no access to fresh fruits and vegetables, an influx of garbage around you, what you think gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we learned about like, oh man, our own backyard was a food desert or food swamp. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, we gotta do something. So Whole Foods is not coming on this side. If you just look at the numbers, they're not coming.
I took that from you were just talking about too.
Dr. Sebi.
Nah, not Dr. Sebi. I'm talking about when you downstairs. You was just talking about the black farmer.
Dr. Muhammad.
Yeah.
Muhammad Farms.
Yeah, he the one talking about the food swamp.
Word.
I was like, it was a food day. He's like, nah. I wasn't getting credit. But when he told me that, I was like, he's like, yo, it's a food swamp. There's food all around you. It's just not good to eat. It's gonna make you sick.
That's a fact.
So he the one. I'm just giving credit to him.
Rest in power, Muhammad. Rest in power, man.
That's what gave you that. So I'm like, yo, that was crazy. But so you had it. So you were saying that it was white, affluent people.
That was our customer base. Like, so when we started catering, so once again, we used to just cook food, but it was vegan food now. We got invited to vend at the Black August Fest. Kalanji throws it every year. And we vended, it was sold out, and we was asked to vend at some other places like Eco Fest and some other, and from the vending came catering opportunities. And once again, it was like, at the time, vegan wasn't a trend. There wasn't no slutty vegans. It wasn't like, this is over 10 years ago. So, make a long story short, our customers didn't look like us, and we didn't understand why our people didn't want to eat healthy, even though we were dying from food-related illnesses like crazy, you know what I mean? Or being sick because of food-related illnesses. So, found out that the education wasn't there. and there's no options. Like I said, if you look at the numbers, like if you look anywhere around here, you won't find a Trader Joe's, you won't find Whole Foods, you won't find Sprouts. You know, you just don't have these farmers markets, they're not around. And we just said we need to be the change that we want to see. So we started off with the school, and then the opportunity came, a building became available essentially. And at the same time, my wife just graduated from from Le Cordon Bleu with a culinary degree. She opened up a Whole Foods in Alpharetta, so she was getting like a culinary experience. But at the end of the day, we still wanted to come home and do something for the community. Essentially, that was in our backyard. So we just started off like make a small impact, focus on what we can focus on, you know, which is this little area, and be pretty much the example we wanted to see take place in other food deserts.
Nah. So how was that transition? Because everybody's always talking about your target market, your demographic, right? But you had a bigger mission to make a bigger impact. How did that transition even happen? Where you're saying, I know you call it nonprofit, you have a survey, but how did that education process happen and you didn't go out of business?
Yeah, so when we first started, half of our menu was vegan, the other half wasn't vegan. Right? So we understood that it wasn't necessarily, like we didn't want to be exclusive or exclude the community because they don't know.
They don't know, yeah.
Right? So because they didn't know, we didn't want to just like shun them and say, no, this is just vegan. Nah, come in, we got food. You know, we all types of food. And we just weaned, you know, we just kept on changing the menu year by year, you know.
As you gain customers.
Yeah. So we used to have two types of mac and cheese, regular mac and cheese, vegan mac and cheese. Now we just got the vegan mac. You know what I'm saying? We should do cold cut subs. And I mean, this is 9 years in business. So it's like we had to adapt with the times. And once documentaries started coming out on Netflix, and like, you know, like the information started coming out in terms of what people were putting inside their body and its correlation to all types of health outcomes. It was like, and then Slutty Vegan, right? And you know, just other parts. Even when Burger King eventually opened up and started offering vegan options and Chick-fil-A and those type of things. So because the consumer started demanding a healthier option, essentially.
So what do you think in our community? We still suffer from a lot of that, right? Obesity and things like that. What education or what do you think is the misconception about even to this day about eating vegan?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: it's political, right? When you talk about like these terms, right? They're very politicized, and I think that if we get away from the terms and just say, from a community standpoint, from a family standpoint, like how do we eat? Like most of the stuff we eat was whole greens, whole vegetables, whole foods.
It's funny when it's like organic and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, you go.
Listen, my mom always say, yo, what is not organic? You know what I'm saying? What is it?
If it didn't grow from the ground, right? Like from the
I didn't have to name it organic. It was already organic. You know
naturally.
It was natural.
Yeah, when you talk about supply chain, right? You just go to your farm and you just pick your food and you just go home and you cook it. But what happens is we've gotten so used to someone else handling our, food, we just go and just buy the food and eat. We're in a microwave society. You know what I'm saying? So we have to unlearn these things, and it's like, all right, well, there's a part of it where it's like you gotta feed the people, make it taste good, right? But then while they're eating, like, yo, look, that shit is packed with iron. It's packed with phosphorus. You know what that could do for you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you know what? I'm dealing with this issue or whoop-de-whoop. And, but now, like I said, this is before, like, you had to pay for Google ads and all these type of things. Like
you just found on a search.
Yeah.
It already ranked for it, so it was easy. Yeah. Before Google came out with all that, Facebook came out with all that. Trying to monetize.
Exactly.
Early days of eating Google ads and stuff like that.
They never even existed. You know what I'm saying? Yelp just started. Uber Eats just started. They gave us, like, a lot of
free publicity.
Opportunity,
They need to get people on their platform.
Anyway.
Yeah, so they didn't want to charge you before you even got on their platform.
Exactly. So we got caught on that first wave, and then a couple other days we went viral a couple times, and celebrities came by. Like we just stuck to it, and not saying that it wasn't hard days or what I mean.
What were the hardest thing? Because I don't want people to think that it's linear. So examples of like what were some of the biggest challenges you had in those early days?
So I can name maybe 2 or 3 off the top of my head, and it's still a challenge. Personnel issues, right?
Which we're all facing.
Yeah, being able to build out a team, right? Because that's the job of a leader, putting out fires, finding solutions to see the fire before it even comes. We've hired over 60, 70 people. Like the list. We made a list one time, and it's just that's one thing. Second is supply chain, like having good suppliers. When we first opened up, there used to be a Sam's Club right up the street. So we used to be able to get all our supplies from there, things of that nature. Now we got to drive out our way to Tucker. So supply chain is another big thing. And obviously capital, access to capital. There's always a challenge in some way or form, but once again, it's like, I'm grateful that I've pretty much made all the mistakes you can make. You know what I'm saying?
What are a couple? So the answers to those, or how have you overcome those challenges?
Yeah, so personnel, like I said, just creating leaders, making it a real, building a culture around leadership, so like huddles on a consistent basis, but not just me holding a huddle, putting someone in place and just rotating that, allowing feedback, natural feedback, and just making sure you hiring, like you have a hiring process. You just don't give people everything off the bat because it's almost like, how can I say it? If I'm burnt out, right? I'm tired. I'm gonna hire somebody to take all the work I don't want to do. They know that, right? So we can't approach it that way. We have to say, look, let me see what you can do for us, right? We're gonna have a probation period. Let's see where you perform, right? And at the end of this probation period, we do an evaluation and see what's the best fit for you, and we can see as far as pay is concerned, if we need to go up on the pay, or you stay right here.
I just call it advocate. So there's two types of advocation, right? So people they either micromanage or they advocate, right? They be like, oh, we hired, take all this.
Take all this.
I mean, listen,
and I'm gone.
Right?
I ain't talking
back, I'm out,
And it sound good, right?
It sound good.
I'm a boss now. I ain't gotta do nothing but order folks up there, but
Nah, cause that, and I bring these things on, I try to get deeper to the root because a lot of times we come on these podcasts and people like, yo, I'm bored, I got 10 employees. I said, yo, so what's the challenge? Nah, they all good, they come to work every day and they never miss it, they never get sick, they robots.
Yikes.
I'm like, yo, I don't know where, listen, man, come on. I've been in businesses, I talked to a lot of businesses, I've never seen that for real, right? Amazon, I'm trying to get a higher product all the way down, got to turn it, got to turn.
In the food business, is a high turnover rate. And then mind you, like COVID happened.
Word, got shut down, man.
We had to shut down and we had to lay employees off, but they wasn't coming back to work because guess what? They was getting unemployment. So like that was a whole process in and of itself. Like
that was a reset. That was crazy. How did you deal with that?
It was crazy. I would say that thank God for family, you know what I'm saying? I put my children to work. Because they was out of school too, you know what I mean?
I know that's why what's called glad she in college.
Yeah. She turned 20 yesterday.
Man,
she back in school now, man. So to your point, it was a hard thing to navigate because guess what? We had to take all the tables and chairs out. We had to rearrange the restaurant so customers couldn't go use the bathroom anymore. We had to put these plexiglasses up. So we had to spend money, right? And then it was still difficult because there was no vaccine, right? But they literally shut the businesses down. And we just had to find a way to like, okay, do we want to open back up? Yeah, we were essential.
You got to doing essential, right? Getting essential.
Yeah. We got some funding from the government as well. Some restaurant revitalization funding and things of that nature. But ultimately, personnel. If you ain't got a team, then you're gonna burn out. You get what I'm saying? You can't do everything, all yourself. Yeah, and this is a food business once again. So
it's any business. Everybody, we try to. Of course, I always tell people, if you're doing affiliate marketing or there's some businesses out there where you could be the Lone Ranger, you should be here too or something. You could do it, but most of the businesses that make the real impact, right? And this is one of the problems that I think about in in our culture right now is that we're chasing the money and not chasing impact, right? It's hard to build a business, right? I go after businesses that have employees, that have to make an impact in the community. Why? Because that is where the real change happens at. If you're just going after the money, you're in a vacuum. You're just chasing the brand, and your community's not gonna see that. You haven't built relationships. Then you don't grow. How much have you grown? Having to deal with all these people and having to learn from, dealing with the 70 odd personality that you had to deal with.
Yeah, think about that, right? So a lot of times we're like, yo, what's the perfect avatar, right? We talking about your customers, but what's the perfect employee? And I can truly say we have that now. Like, oh, this is the model.
It's the model.
And if this person doesn't fit this model, then, thank you and have a good night. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's okay because once again, like, we're not afraid of hard work. Right? Or what people consider to be hard work. Like, it's just work.
It's just work.
It's just work at the end of the day. And like I said, I'm in a space right now where it's like, okay, we just want to empower people. Like, that's just our aim, like, empower people to make them understand they're making an impact. They're doing community service, right? And that's the most important thing you can do because it don't matter how much I pay you. You can go somewhere else, get paid more money, and be miserable and depleted. But in here, you're getting fed. And then once again, I take the time to like empower them and teach them things and like put them on. Put the class. Days that we're closed, we're doing classes to enriching them. You know what I mean? Because we assume because I know something and you know something, they know it.
You don't know it.
And they don't know. You know what I'm saying? And it's not their fault they don't know. Like, there was times, like I said, with funding, like I had to go to school because I didn't want to go to get a job and the business was slow, but my mortgage was still due and bills were still due. So I went to school to learn a lot of my business acumen, And I took everything that I learned from school and I applied it to the business, and I put it, and this is why, like, I'm writing books about these things and like giving the people food that they could actually use. Like, we're talking about strategy, right? It's one thing to encourage a person, inspire a person, but give them an action plan, like some actual steps, actionable items that they can use to, change their life.
That's one of the things that I always say, I'll be like, we talk, I'm like, nah, what's the next step we're gonna take from this conversation, right? Forget about everything I just said is cool, but what's the next step you're gonna take from right here?
That's a fact.
Then you come back and see, like, I took that step, because that just gonna let me know if you're real or not. If you're for real about your business, I'm gonna say that you take that next step, if you agree to it, right? When you like, that strategy's not for me, right? You know what I'm saying? But I always say, but that's what we have to give to people. A lot of times people are trying to, and I understand because people are selling hope, right? It's easy to sell an entrepreneur that's like, hey, it's gonna be easy, right? I always start, it's hard, right? I'm like, hold on. I said, I'm not a woman, right? So I don't know how hard pregnancy is, right? But everything else I've ever seen in my life ain't nothing hard as entrepreneurship.
Facts.
So I don't know. Just understand that when I get that, I said, people be like, well, it's not that hard. I said, Eden, I want you to think it's going to be that hard because I want you to come in here with the expectation that this thing is going to be crazy. Because people don't really understand. They come in, I said, you ain't getting no check. You don't got no benefits. You can't take no time off.
Why? Because your boss is an asshole.
I think I'm like, what? He be like, listen. I said, I gotta go, man. Like, what's up, man? The boss is crazy, man. I gotta get early in the morning. Early. He's like, but you the boss. I be like, I told you, crazy.
Exactly. It's not for the faint of heart. And I think when you set realistic expectations, you're able to manage a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Like, mentally, because man, it's like when I work for a company, Chase, right? Like, the company will make you feel like you're nothing without them. Like, you can't make it without them, right? So when you step out, you're like, damn, there's no mentorship, there's no help, there's no support, there's no angel investor that you're like, I got a great idea, come fund me. Now, they want to see proof of concept. They want to see numbers. They want to see that you have a track record. They want to see that you are, knee deep in it already. And then they'll potentially, if, you get what I'm saying? Like, but once again, we're in post-pandemic, we're in new territory. No one knows what's going to happen in business. You got to stay as much above the curve as possible.
People ain't practicing their craft, though.
That too.
This thing is a craft. You see what I'm saying? you said something earlier. Your moms and your wife went into the business. You went into the business part.
Yeah.
People don't understand that business is a craft. I be like, yo, you don't know. Business is my craft.
Yeah.
This is what I study.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about how to build a business. I said, yo, all I'm looking for, and this is how they get over. I'm not saying get over. This is how people have done us in music, in rap, in movies, everything, because they study the craft of the business. They go find the talent. They're like, oh yeah, the talent. Yeah, and then they say, well, I put the business together, I should get more money. Even though in reality, things wouldn't happen without the talent.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're not taught to study, but this has been a tradition. If you read any book, they never taught strategy, they always taught tactics, right? That's why when you're in armies or, when people would battle for the colonizers, they would teach them tactics, but they would never teach them strategy. No, you can't be strategic. And that's what we have to be studying, is to be strategic, then implement that strategy, review that strategy, plan, execute, review. And that's
and do it again. Well, once again, this is one of those things where it's like everybody got a part to play, back to yours. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not for everybody to do. You know what I mean? This is why an efficient company is ran by a board. And even the board has advisors and committees and things of that nature. So it's like to think that for some reason, because then you'd be like, yo, there's people at the top and everybody at the bottom. No, it's actually a group. It's groupthink. You know what I'm saying? It's masterminds and
it's masterminds coming out with the best idea. So I always tell people, I said, nothing's guaranteed. What we do is play percentages, right? So we come out with an idea, like, all right, this one has a great chance of winning, right? And then we say, okay, and then I say, okay, is the risk worth the reward? And we say, all right, we're going to take a 20%. This only has a 20% chance of success. But if I lose, can I take the loss, right? And if I win, is it a home run, right? Because it's not worth it. I'm not going to bet the whole empire, right, to gain anything, right? I can't do that. And also, I'm not gonna take a loss risk if all I can get is a couple dollars, right?
Man, that's so deep, bro. Like, because a couple things is we swinging for the fences. You know what I mean? We trying to hit that home run every trip, man. And I put everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to put it all in behind us. You get what I'm saying? But we got to make sure certain things is in place. Do we have competitive advantage? You know what I'm saying? Like,
we have a hold around our, you know what I'm saying? Exactly.
But what's that thing that they can't get nowhere else but only right here? You know, and like I said, I always bet on my people first. So like, even when I talk about the Avatar, like there was a point in Green Love, like it shocked me, like there was no men working in the restaurant. It was nothing but sisters. And it shocked me, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like we are behind the eight ball as black men. And it's like, I can't hold another black man accountable. So that's why I say what I say. It's like, yo, I'm willing to put it all in, but we got to make sure. I'm willing to put it up, bro. Like, I'm super risk, like.
So I'm gonna risk everything. I'm like, if we don't risk it all, right? If we don't risk it all, then we can't win. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just talking, so when I say the risk, I'm talking about the business. But because if we wasn't gonna risk it all, guess what? There'd be no podcast.
That's a fact. No real estate, no restaurant, no cleaning company.
Because those aren't the things that make the most money. We be in it to just be like, straight out going to get there's other things to do that can go get way more money. That will faster. That will make the impact, right? Less headache. You don't got to deal with certain people, right? That you can go virtual. You go virtual. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I'm just saying, like, you can do a lot of things.
Stocks, all of that stuff.
If I just sat behind the board and just traded every day, right? Because I tell people, yo, trading is not hard. It's just boring. Right?
It's not exciting.
It's not exciting.
Not at all.
But if I took some money and started trading every day and just went by the trading algorithm, right? You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be hard to do.
You'll make money.
You'll make money. That's all it is. So,
but we're not in it to make money.
We're not in it to make money. Exactly. We need to make an income. We understand that. I'll be like, yo, son, I'm talking to you. That's why we always talking. We always rock. Because we have this goal for impact, for liberation, right? Helping our people, right, and trying to make a trip. And we have to understand, like, okay, there's other people who don't. You just like you said, they didn't know the food.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I'm just cater to the white people because sometimes we blame the people.
Exactly.
They don't know, and I be like, yo, you the leader, bro. You gotta disseminate the message
and figure it out.
and figure. Yeah. They didn't understand it like this. We gotta say it like this. And they understand it like this. We gotta say it like this.
Exactly.
When marketers really talk, I always talk about, say, yo, in Pepsi doesn't say the people don't understand. They come out with a new commercial.
That's a fact. And educated.
You know what I'm saying? So they're manipulating because they're lying. Because sodas ain't no good for you.
Nah, that's a fact. But what they do is they use tactics. They use tactics
and
to
the
get
reason
you.
why I'm saying that they don't blame the consumer.
Nah.
We blame the people.
Yeah.
When I see other leaders coming through, they start blaming the people. Oh, black people don't want to do this.
They don't support.
They don't support
other black. Yeah.
I said, fam, your product. You haven't marketed it. Have you looked at your avatar? Let's see have you done some surveys?
Yeah.
We haven't looked at all 5 things that's going on in your business to really say that why people are not supporting it.
Yeah. It's that checklist.
It's that check.
No, so this is where I need you to come in now, right? And start because for me, I think my room for growth personally is online. You know what I mean? So
you think that your room for growth is online, like doing the marketing and things like that, or e-commerce. So just with your products and things like that. So right now, what do you guys sell online?
Nothing.
And then you have a fan base, right? You have a fan base. A lot of people.
Like 13,000.
Yeah. Come on, man. You supposed to, and you haven't given them any t-shirts. I mean, I know you got shirts in the store, but shirts to buy online, right?
I'm not doing sales funnels.
I know it.
I'm not doing sales funnels. I'm not doing client journeys. I'm not doing none of that.
Listen, we gotta go get you some offers.
Maybe.
That's all.
I spend zero money on marketing, bro.
No, I understand.
$0, bro.
But the thing is, though, I'm gonna say this though too, is that you have to find, because right now the restaurant is packed enough all the time, right? So there's no marketing need to be done, right? It's not like you're trying to pack the restaurant out more.
Exactly.
But where I would think what the avenue is the online, as you said, online, where it's more of, hey, merchandise online
sources,
sales. Exactly.
Seasonings, cookbooks.
Your wife cook, she had one, right? She's making one, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are the things that you have to market and have that store and build that store up.
Yeah, so that to me is where there's room for growth, exponential room for growth. So
who's going to be that main person that's going to be the brand ambassador for the store?
I don't know. Probably somebody that's working in there now that knows the product, that's committed.
Because the education, so I look at this right here. I said, he who's gonna win is the educator. The person who becomes known as the person with all the information, right? And just gives it away there, right? Because, listen, I give away the information and I sell the products.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's because I don't want to be the gatekeeper of the information.
Well, So I think there's a lot of information out there, right? There's a lot of people that's in the forefront, right? Known for vegan or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's how do we set ourselves apart, essentially? Because you can find information now. When we first started, there was no
information, right? But that's why you got to define who you're talking to. You got to define. It's not just about food.
Yeah.
See, when we just say, what happened with vegans is that, just live a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Why do we want to live a healthy lifestyle?
Yeah.
What are we trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
What's the bigger part, right?
Yeah.
So it's when you don't tie the information to nothing. So there's no vision. There's no mission. There's no. We will have people gonna get behind it. Like you said, everything that we talk about, if it's business, health, whatever, it's all out there. But what people tie into is the mission and vision. And when you put that out there, what is the vision? People didn't know this vision before we even know.
Exactly.
It has to be repeated. The people, what is our vision here? We want 1,000 people. Our mission here at Green Love for the next 3 years is to have 1,000 people come through and lose weight or eat or turn vegan or whatever.
Which is dope because people think, like, for example, we're a vegan restaurant. We promote vegan food. What we promote is a healthy lifestyle, an option. You know what I'm saying? We promote an option. We say the best option you have is grow your food in your yard. You know what I mean? Or
that's number one.
Your livestock or whatever. Grow your own food. We want to be the healthier option. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to make a choice in this community, and that's it. And then from there, or you want advice, detox. You know what I'm saying? Know how to detox. Know how to wean yourself off of certain things. You know what I mean? So you're not addicted to sugar, addicted to, you know, all of the things that are not necessarily good for us. Yeah. So that's, to your point. Yeah. So that's how we look at ourselves.
But you got to get other people to look at it like that.
True.
That you wanted that vision of, hey, we want to be the healthiest option
available
in the community. Our vision is to be the healthiest option available in the community, the state, in the nation, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. So we're continuously dealing with our food, building our cookbooks, having it where you can come even if you don't buy here, you can still get all the things you need. We tell you, grow it in your house, grow it in your yard, make your own food. And once you put that vision out there, it's not about the information, it's about following the lifestyle. Because you're like, I like that vision. That's the vision I have.
Okay.
And that's the vision you're looking at, right? Because I always say there's a vision. This is the intangible. How do we say we're the healthiest? How do we know we're the healthiest option in the world? Yeah. You know, that's just a vision. That's like, hey, but if we start, then the mission is a tangible thing that we do. We want to have the #1 cookbook for vegans, or healthy lifestyle choice, rated by this book company. Or we want to be the #1 restaurant rated in Atlanta for healthy choice living, right?
Exactly.
Something like that. And having that, so having that vision where people are like, yo, and I always use Martin Luther King's vision,
shout out to MLK. That was yesterday,
right?
Something like
Monday, right? So his vision was, seeing little kids holding hands, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's intangible, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you there's no way you could measure seeing kids, right? It was just a vision in your mind, right? So that was like a dream that everybody had. That's all it was. But a tangible thing was, I would like to see 40% of all schools integrated. So that's a tangible, measurable. Exactly.
You could actually
measure. Yes.
Quantify
it. But the other part about the mission is, I don't set long-term missions. I set 3-year missions because it keeps resetting. Because the mission changes, right? Just like they said, mission accomplished. Then he did another mission, right? So we have a thing where we have a mission for the business, right? Our thing is to get 80% of our clients in Conyers, Covington, Lithonia, right? For the cleaners, right? And that's the mission for the next 3 years, right? That's all it is. We don't have anything else. And then but we do have a vision to be the #1 cleaning company. We have the #1 cleaning company in Georgia, right? As said by our employees and by our clients, right? Now, they just say that, right? That's a vision that we have. We're always striving to be to that people say, "Yo, I'm the best." Yeah. It's not something that can be tangible. We can't measure it, but they'll just be saying it, right? You know what I'm saying? We want to be the best employer, but how do we rate that, right? We could, if we were like, hey, we have measurements. They're like, we just want to have the dream of employees. They love being here. They enjoy it, and the clients say, hey, they refer us. They love it. They love the program. They love it. They love it.
How often do you revamp or look at your mission statement, and tighten it, scrutinize it? How often do you do that?
Oh man, every quarter.
Every 3 months.
Every quarter. There's a book, 12-week year, right? I love it for entrepreneurship, right? Yeah. And so I don't look at every year. I look at the 12 weeks, and we reset the 12 weeks, right? Okay. So we try to go on another quick sprint, right? Yeah. I say this is the long mission, and in that mission, these are the sprints that are going on.
Okay, cool. Cool. I like that.
Oh man, that's it, man. I mean,
and I'm I'm trying to get some game, bro.
No,
Trying to get some game. We in the Black Business Podcast, trying to learn some things. You know, I can take with me. You know?
No, but I mean, the number one thing we were talking about is just having that online presence. I mean,
Yeah, I
the future
think
is going to is having the revenue stream, right? The other revenue stream is online because you packed out the restaurant. You have a referral system going on. You have a secret. You have that good secret reputation. I say there's a reputation going on with every company.
Yeah.
Right behind your back, right?
Yeah.
People are like, yo, Green Love, you need to go there. Yo, that food good. You see when I came there, she said, that food good. Where did you get that from? Da da da, right?
Yeah.
And you have people coming in all the time. Somebody told me about this. This person told me about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
With that happening, now it's like, all right, where do I get my next revenue stream from?
Yeah.
I have shirts. Why am I not selling them online? I have recipes. Why am I not selling them online? Why don't I have a sales funnel? How often are you releasing your newsletter?
Exactly. Probably like twice a week. Yeah.
You have a newsletter that's school twice a week.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's more or less like an update. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not as consistent and it's not scheduled.
Yeah, what I'm saying, you have a schedule, but not an update, a scheduled newsletter talking about a healthy living lifestyle. Because that's what you're promoting. That's the vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is to have to be the number one option.
Now listen, I'm listening. No, my thing is that I don't want to do it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I want to build it out for, like, I want to be able to where it's sustainable. You get what I'm saying? Like,
but the first thing you got to do is map it out, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't give it to somebody if you don't map it out.
Yeah, like create a content calendar.
Yeah, you got to do all that before you can even just say. You got.
So you're saying, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
You can't delegate chaos, bro.
Now that's a fact. Well, what I like to do personally is like to have people in on the conversation. Mm-hmm. So as we're like ideating, figuring out, like, yeah, like, hey, you know what I mean? And it's fun. Like right now, I have one of the staff. Like everyone in the staff, I give them goals, or I try to create additional goals outside of the everyday serving customers. You know, making whoop-de-whoop. It's like, nah, I need you on social media. You know what I'm saying? Just focus on Instagram. You take care of that. I need you coming up with new dishes and thinking about new ideas. I need, you know what I mean? So right now it's like event calendar. You know, we want to start doing events in the restaurant, karaoke night, spades night, you know, stuff like that, just to create more community. You know, and obviously that will drive customers, but it's just that engagement is essentially what it is. You're on both sides.
But give people more options both ways, right?
Yeah.
Because you have them, if they're engaged, and just like you said earlier, and I say the same thing, that you can't never pay nobody enough money, right? There's NBA players that turned out 20 mil to stay with their team, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm good, right? They could opt out and go to another team, but they stay with their team for 20 million less, right? Because they love the culture, they love the environment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like that, right? People leave six-figure jobs to go start their own business. People go with a startup that's not making no money because they believe in the vision and the dream.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
If you can do that, people will stay there. Because I've come to the realization that most people don't want to be rich. Yeah.
In the sense of like,
I'm talking about money wise.
Like self-sabotage from that space, or just like they just don't want.
They don't care about it. They don't care about it.
They really just want
community.
To feel
somebody loves them.
They want to feel rich.
They want to feel. You know what it is? It's not that they want to be rich. They don't want to worry about money.
That part.
So they don't want to be rich. They don't want to worry about money.
Yeah, and a lot of them. Yeah, they don't want to have to stress.
They don't want to stress. Just think about this, right? We live in online. Mm-hmm. There's a million ways to get money right now, right? Like people, like they show, like every day they're like, "Oh, you just gotta do." Of course, a lot of them are hard, right? You know, because I tell them, I said, you know, most of the stuff. I know people say they're like, you can't get. I said, most of the stuff can work, but it just takes a lot of consistent effort. Yeah. And it I remember when I was young, I was about 17, and they sold this newspaper, right? It was like this little newspaper clip. Not the newspaper clip, but the guy was like, yo, if you do the small newspaper ad, you can get money with it, right? Yeah. So I bought it. Man, after about 20 days, I tried to get a refund, right? So the guy said, I said, nah, I need my money back, because it's a 30-day refund, right? He was like, so did you do any of this stuff? I said, they didn't tell me about none of this stuff. He was like, so, because you know they had a script, right? So he's like, so they didn't tell you about you have to put it in every day and do the work. And I was like, nah, 'cause you know, I'm young. I'm thinking I'm gonna get rich right away.
Yeah, get the money and then everything else automatically.
I'm buying it. It's gonna take care. But what it is that it not that it didn't work. It just took
longer time,
and it worked, but you just didn't because it was just infomercials back then. And I'm just saying to myself that people don't want to do that type of work. People be like, "Oh, Clyde, you be what?" I said, "Yo, listen, I work every day. I enjoy what I do. I like to work." You know what I'm saying? Some people, and I'm just saying that, and I tell people, first, you're not going to shame me because I love to work. You know what I'm saying? This is what I love to do. I enjoy it. I'm not stressed out or nothing. No. But I don't shame other people for not. When they be like, "Yo, God was saying, I took a whole quarter off." And I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't care about the money. He'd rather take a quarter off. You see what I'm saying? I understand, but everybody's not going to be dedicated to that.
Yeah. They call it a balance. But work-life balance.
Work-life balance, yeah.
I can't get with it. I gotta get mine.
And the only
go crazy, bro. Like I can't be on vacation for 3 months.
Listen,
are you kidding me?
The only reason I have a problem with it is for a black man because we're in a state of war, right? And we have to. And so when I say it from an entrepreneurial standpoint, right? I'm like, yo, do what you do. People don't want to be rich. From a liberation standpoint, I'm like, yo, fam, nah, I'm on you, B. You got it. I can't rock with you if you're not on it. Because you don't understand. You're trying to lounge. When it's like, yo, if World War II is going on, be like, nah, I just want to live a couple of life. I know the whole country, what's it called about. I'm gonna chill. That's not how but we don't really think of it like that. We don't think that we're in a situation like that, right? So we don't think that we have to get back our neighborhoods, get back our resources, build up our communities. We think that there's nothing really going on.
Until that shit end up in the front door. It's over. It's too late. Nah, that's good, bro.
All right, man. We went in on there, but Black Businessman Podcast. My brother right here, man. Tell them where we can find you at, man, so you can know, man.
Green Love Kitchen, 6986 Main Street. That's in Lithonia, Georgia. Instagram, Green Love Kitchen, TikTok, greenlovekitchen.com. Google us. Come through, get a plate.
I got one question. How did you get the name Green Love?
Last name, love is a recipe. It's the secret ingredient.
I had to make sure to get it over. I was like, man, how did you get the name Green? And it was just magical, man. Divine, baby. All right, y'all stay focused, stay blessed. We out, please.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you having me, man.